Alrighty, well, welcome to Unit 2 of our 7th grade math SOL review videos that we're going to be going over. And here for Unit 2, we are going over decimals and scientific notation. And let me go ahead and point out, just like I did in Unit 1, this is a non-calculator portion of your SOL. Non-calculator. So you do not get to use your calculator on this part, on the questions that have to do with the decimals and scientific notation. So here in this first video, I'm just going to be going over the standard itself real quick and giving you a quick reminder of what scientific notation looks like. And then I'll get into a little bit more detail on what each thing is going to be about and go over our essential questions kind of like we did last time. So for this whole Unit 2, our goals, what you're expected by the state to know, is that you will be able to investigate and describe the concept of exponents for powers of 10. Okay, again, powers of 10 we're going to go over here in just a second. And then you need to be able to compare and order them as they're written in scientific notation. So they break that down, and we investigate and describe. I know these verbs are maybe a little bit more than what we typically say in class, but this is what we've hopefully been going over for how you will know what to do. So we're going over powers of 10 with negative exponents in both fraction and decimal form. So that's just powers of 10. Then we're going to represent the powers of 10 with negative exponents. We're going to convert back and forth with scientific notation and decimals. And then we're going to be able to compare and order numbers in scientific notation. And it says no more than 4 numbers, okay? So you're only going to be comparing 4 different numbers at a time. All right, so hopefully that doesn't scare you too much. And it might be in ascending and descending order. So we will see what each of those means in case you need a quick refresher. So now we are going to go over real quick the essential questions for this unit. Hopefully by the end of this unit, you'll be able to answer each of these yourself, or at least go over a quick refresher from the videos and be like, oh yeah, that's what each one of those, that's how I answer that question. So question 1, what is the difference between negative exponents and positive exponents? And that's what this first video after this is going to be about. I'm hoping to get this one down into 5 videos as well, just like I did for Unit 1. If you haven't watched those, please make sure you go back and watch them as well. I'm hoping to have 5 videos, which means since there's 4 questions this time, I've got this one as a quick intro, and then I'm going to have to merge a couple of these together so I can get it all in 5 videos or less. And hopefully none of them will be too long. Hopefully a 10-minute max again. So what's the difference between negative exponents and positive exponents? Then we're going to look at what you should consider when you're comparing numbers that are written in note. That's scientific notation. It's just a little abbreviation for that. Question 3, how is it related to the powers of 10? That one should be super obvious for you to answer, and we'll see that here in just a second. And then what strategies could you use to compare and order rational numbers that are presented in different forms? So you might see it written as a fraction, you might see it written as a decimal, you might see it in scientific notation, and then you might just see whole numbers. And so what kind of strategies can you use other than having to convert them all with long division that I know you guys hate to do? So a quick little rundown. If I want to take the number 5,280, that's my favorite number, 5 tomatoes. If I want to take the number 5,280 and I want to convert it into scientific notation, that becomes 5.28 as my coefficient, which has to be bigger than 0. The 5 right here is bigger than 0 and less than 10. And I hope everybody agrees that 5 is less than 10. So I have my coefficient, the number in front of the multiplication sign. And then behind the multiplication sign, I have 10. That's my base. For scientific notation, my base is always 10. Hopefully you remember that. And then we have, that's 10 to the third power. And that exponent, if it's a positive exponent, which that 3 is positive, that means I'm going to make my number bigger. So it's not 5.28. It's going to end up being something bigger than that, like 5,280. And then I have, if it's a negative exponent, like if you had negative 4, then you would be with a small number, like a decimal. right? That's all I'm going to go over in this first video as an introduction to Unit 2. So I hope that's, you can tell from that whether you need to watch the rest of the Unit 2 videos, and I hope that you take the time to. And hopefully the rest of the videos will help.